Hello, my friend. I am so grateful you're here with us in this sizzling summer series. I'm so thankful that we get to process together, just like we got to last summer, our series that often gets a lot more hits because people are looking to make sure that their intimacy life is respectfully talked about, not forgotten. This is what marriage is about, too. We have the self preserving and social instincts, but you're also here for that sexual instinct. And so we're going to talk about that over the next several weeks just to make sure that you guys are all shored up in this area too. I'm so thankful and grateful. We're on our way home, or actually, probably home by the time you're listening from our trip abroad. And now we can all get cozy in the shires of life together and allow for some midsummer's night streaming, hopefully, for you too. So let's talk today about initiation styles, how each type starts the dance of intimacy. And many of you remember from past series we've done, other people who have taught you that often intimacy starts outside of the bedroom. So please remember, some of us are going to be looking for those five senses. Some of those, like, are eights, nines, and ones. Some of us are going to be looking for feeling secure, like five, sixes, or sevens. And some of us are going to be looking to make sure we're wanted and not rejected in our two, three, or four space. Don't we all want all of those things though, right? Like, we all don't want our partner to come in smelling horrible, or we don't want our partner to make us feel unsafe. And none of us want our partner to make us feel unloved. But sometimes one of those three feels like a lifeline and a bit of a shadow. So we want to make sure that we just allow ourselves to process together, just to check in. How do you think I'm doing on yours and your favorite one of those right now? Am I making you feel safe? Am I making you feel like I get that you love the five senses? Am I allowing for you to feel safe and loved? Those are great things. We have to crack codes today and detect signals. We're going to do all that with our sleuth hats on as we explore your marriage terrain together in this area. So I will let you know that there are several initiation styles just to start out, and probably more than several, but definitely want you to know that working with hundreds of couples, surveying thousands, I can tell you that there are some tendencies amidst the different types for how they work. And so I'll give you some of the direct initiators. I'll talk to you a little bit about those who are more subtle signalers, as well as those who love to create atmosphere. So that'll be our main focus for today, and then leave you with just a couple extra tips for everybody. So make sure you stick around for that. And the direct initiators are often the eights, threes, and sevens. And you might even remember these as being known as the independent or aggressive assertive types. But these types tend to initiate with clear, unmistakable signals. They're comfortable being the pursuer, and they often prefer getting straight to the point. So, for instance, in a sexual experience with your marriage, an eight might just initiate with confidence and intensity. It'd say, come here, pull you in for that kiss. That look in their eyes says it all. And there's really nothing that subtle. If they want you, that's their gift. They're going to be a direct communicator. And that's a safe thing, to create that safety and certainty together with you, to just let you know directly. So if you're married to an eight, remember, their directness is not an aggression, it's invitation. They're showing you they want you specifically. And if you are an eight, remember that not everyone processes desires as quickly as you do. So sometimes your partner needs a few minutes to transition. So if they set a boundary, remember, eights are good with boundaries. So let them have some boundaries with you too. Now, if you're a three achiever, I know that often you initiate through planned romance and creating that perfect intimate moment. You might plan a special evening, have the perfect lingerie or outfit, set the scene, be massaging. You want that experience to be successful, memorable, and you want to do it right. And if you're married to a three, appreciate the effort and the planning, because they're showing love through really desiring to create a beautiful, glorious experience. And if you are a three, remember that intimate connection doesn't always have to be perfect or planned. And sometimes the imperfect, spontaneous moments of depth, and I will add this word because it's so important for our threes, authenticity is so important. Please know that, because your person wants to love you no matter what, not just if you look perfect. Now, the type seven, of course, these enthusiasts love excitement, playfulness, and they might try something new with you, or ask you to, or create an adventure around intimacy, use humor, flirtation through the day, and even allow for initiation to turn into foreplay. So if you're married to a 7, know that there's a genuine desire for joyful connection with you and enter the playful energy. But if you are a 7, sometimes your partner needs emotional depth and that before physical connection. Don't skip the heart connection. I know it's scary for you. I've had a lot of clients they've had to work through this with where there's a lot of laughter and giggling, and sometimes that can be a distraction for your partner. So allowing for the depths. Okay, now the subtle signalers are 2s, 6s, and 9s. And these types tend to initiate through atmospheric changes, a little bit more on the nonverbal cue side, gentle invitations, and their indirect style is really beautiful still, and it's very powerful, but it's like I said, indirect. So here's a few tips for those of you in that split space with you or your partner. So the helpers are 2s. They often initiate by creating caring moments for the two of you that naturally lead to intimacy. They might give you a long massage, run you a bath, create a cozy moment for connection. They're thinking about your needs and comfort first. And so if you're married to a 2, notice when they're making a special moment for you. This is their initiation for you, and respond to their care with appreciation and reciprocal desire whenever possible. But also remember, if you are a 2, it's okay to express your own desires sometimes too, not just try to feed into what you think your partner wants, because they want to know what you want, not just what you think they want. And also, they want to make sure that you don't manipulate them into just your way. If you are in that space, remember they still get to choose too. And that's okay if they don't choose you in that moment. But if it's not in that moment, make sure you are very, very kind and gentle with your 2 so you can make sure they don't feel rejected. And if you're a 2, doing that work of self-soothing is also important. Okay, now if you're a 6, that loyal friend, in this way, more than friends, the type 6 initiates through building emotional safety, testing the waters. They might increase their affection through the day, ask how you're feeling, even physically, to make sure you feel safe, create secure moments of connection, because they need to, as I mentioned with our thinking types, feel emotionally safe before becoming, of course, physically vulnerable. So if you're married to a 6, know that their more gentle, cautious approach is not disinterest. They're just trying to create safety and make sure things are good between you. So, yes, take the time to build the emotional bridge together. They will calm then. And if you are a 6, trust that your partner wants to connect with you, not negative chains instead of like, I don't think they do, because the signal and reading into everything. And of course, you need that emotional safety, but try not to tell and build up stories of negativity, but allow for more healthy, positive stories. And if you're a 9, our peacemakers, often our 9s initiate through peaceful, comfortable environments and atmospheres. They might suggest watching a movie together, give gentle touches, or create cozy environments. They love to invite you into peaceful spaces. They do, however, appreciate when you also invite them and offer to love on them. So if you're married to a 9, look for cues, touches, and hear if they're saying, hey, I'm a person who loves acts of service. Be listening for what they actually love and allow yourself to step into that atmosphere and to give back to them too. And also, if you are a 9, sometimes your partner does need a clearer signal of your desire. It's safe to express when you want more directly, but find a little signal or cue you guys can do together. That will be so helpful. Now, last but not least, our atmosphere creators are 1s, 4s, and 5s. These types often initiate intimacy through setting the right conditions, whether it's a perfect environment, emotional connection, or private space together. So if you're a 1 or with a 1, 1s often initiate sexual intimacy by creating the right conditions: clean sheets, perfect timing, proper privacy. This can range the gamut. I'm not going to go into our life, but I can tell you that that's always not the exact things my spouse would do, but it is something to know that if you're with a 1, they'd have certain desires for right conditions that feel right to them. And as they get older and wiser, they realize they're not just right conditions, it's what they prefer. And they're able to use that language versus this other is bad. It's more of, oh yeah, this is what I like and prefer. And so they want the environment to support a beautiful connection. If you're married to a 1, know that their attention to detail comes from wanting the best experience and appreciate their care for creating that beauty. And if you are a 1, remember sometimes imperfect timing can create perfect moments, and spontaneity has its own beauty. And also know that authenticity has its own beauty. So just loving your partner for exactly who they are. Now, type fours are creatives, are individualists. They initiate through creating emotional and romantic atmospheres. They might share deep feelings, create beautiful spaces, or connect through meaningful conversations of depth first. They really want soul connection and they want everything to line up, the stars. We were just watching Only You not long ago, and it was so cute. My daughters and I, but also Wes was stepping in and out. And Marissa Tomei was just a perfect example of the four lost in the romanticism of soul connection, a little over the top with it. So if you're married to four, enter their emotional world before moving to physical connection. It has to be right. The stars have to align in a way. And they're creating intimacy through depth and finding meaning, even if it feels a bit mystical to you. But if you are a four, remember, not every intimate moment needs to be deeply emotional or perfect. And I know you get that. I just have to remind you because sometimes simple connection is profound and you just need that reminder. And you know it cognitively, but you need to embody it because I know that is something fours when you get lost in your thinking, you can forget to embody it. So even allowing for some sensual practices where you guys give a massage or something to incorporate some initiative desire versus just your thoughts can be very helpful too. Now, last but not least, our fives are investigators, researchers. These innovators love to initiate when they feel like they have enough energy and privacy. They might invite you to their space, share some playful banter, enjoy the hide and seek participation, enjoy a little bit of, running away and coming back and making sure you guys have a little bit of courtship vibes going on there. And they'd love to share something meaningful with you or be more present and available than usual. Those are all intimacy initiators of whatever type. So if you're married to a five, notice when they're inviting you into their inner world or personal space or knowledge. This is their initiation. And if you are a five, sometimes verbal communication about your desire helps your partner understand your more subtle or sideways kind of coming in to talk about things or actions, and they might otherwise feel this is a little abrupt. So understand if they set some boundaries with you and say, I need a little more notice, or you've got to allow me to also get into the mood. That is very important. So I love that. And you can just practice all of this with a little game like initiation, sort of translating game this week, where you allow yourselves to really think what is each of our initiation styles. And how you can do that is just by asking or sharing your style. Just say, I've shared or I've learned that I tend to initiate intimacy by this. And I think you tend to initiate intimacy by this. And I want to get better at recognizing your signals. Can you tell me about that? And then if you want to really make this into a fun game, you guys can actually practice each other's initiation style. You can say, is this right? Is this when you do this? Is this what it is? And you can also experiment with their style a little yourself. Now, some of it will be like, absolutely not. You guys will be like, stay in your lane. I don't want you to do that, but I like it when I do that, etc. But sometimes it might be just fun to be the initiator sometimes, for instance, if you're not usually. And it can be scary to let one another in that way, vulnerably, if you're not usually the initiator. You like it can be scary to let yourself come undone and vulnerable with somebody if you're used to being in control, for instance, or vice versa. But these are really healthy practices and tips for you guys to take. And as you know, I always say just 1% difference, right? Like just keep climbing, keep trying to do a little bit better. And I promise you, it will be worth every bit of this embarrassing effort at times, because you know what? Growth is risk, and that is not always easy. So you can do this. I believe in you. You get grace. You can tell yourself that every day. Tell that inner critic, I am allowed to experiment and try new things. And this is good for my brain and body and marriage. And allow yourself a nice deep breath as you encompass all of that. And just good job. I'm so proud of you for this episode. Take one thing from today and just really let it sink in as you process with me. You're here. You did this. You're growing your relationship. And I'm so proud of you. So I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye bye.